Once we all got to the campsite was pretty cool. It was, I wouldn't say an open field, but there was much more space and plenty of room to set camp. We all started to chit-chat with each other about what we were going to do, and the girls were all together. They were unpacking some of the sandwiches. They were already hungry, which was not that bad. You know, we had plenty. Me and Zach were talking, looking over the place. Ryan and Mark, they were talking too, and then I noticed for some reason, Mark wanted to wander off on his own, which is not unusual for Mark, because he is very impatient, and Ryan told him that he would go with him. Ryan had noticed that I saw that Mark was going off, and he told me that we would be just right back. All still chit-chatting. Me and Zach were getting a little hungry, and I noticed Ryan and Mark were sort of fighting with each other, but trying to keep it down low so nobody else would notice. But I noticed. I could tell it in Ryan's eyes that he was very upset with Mark, and they were trying to hush things up. I didn't say anything, nobody else noticed anything, and we all started off on the hiking trip. And since everybody wanted to go separate ways, Ryan came up with a plan. Some of us wanted to go left, some of us wanted to go right, some of us wanted to go straight. So he made a deal that we would go on the path that we wanted to go on, but we would all meet back in the same location 20 minutes later. So Shelley and Tiffany went together, me and Zach went together, Ryan and Mark and Jenny went together. We all agreed that we would be back in 20 minutes at the same location. Little did any of us know that would really start the game.
Shelley and I were grouped together. I was so happy about that. She had brought her camera along. She's taking classes at the local college to one day become a professional photographer. She's always wanting me to pose for her. I guess isn't too bad. As we were on the path walking around, she was taking pictures like crazy, and then she told me that she thought she saw somebody running out from behind the tree. But I didn't see anyone, and I didn't hear anything either.
Zach was a little ways ahead of me. As I was trying to keep up with him, from the corner of my eye, I know I seen something. It moved pretty fast. It was some type of black object. It could have been an animal. It could have spotted us and been afraid. But something inside of me told me not an animal. I just got this really creepy feeling, and maybe we should just start heading back to the main path again and wait for everybody to show up.
Oh, poor little Jenny. After what Mark did to me and getting my attention, I knew I found the victims that I've been waiting for the last year. I saw how they split off in different directions, and that was a stupid thing to do, but I'm glad they did it, because it allowed me to hunt each and every one of them one by one. I was deciding who to go after first. Jenny. I noticed that she had went with Mark and Ryan, and I knew I would have to be extremely careful. But when I noticed that Mark and Ryan began to argue at each other, I knew that was a perfect opportunity for my first victim.
20 minutes later, we all returned to the main path where we all started off. Me and Zach got there first. About 5 minutes later, we saw Shelley and Tiffany join us, laughing, still taking pictures. They waved to us when they noticed us there. 10 minutes had gone by, and Ryan, Mark, and Jenny still didn't return. But when 10 minutes turned into another 10 minutes, we started to get a little worried, wondering why they hadn't returned yet. We were all starting to talk that maybe Mark and Ryan had gotten into a fight. Tiffany, being very protective of her cousin, got a little upset about that, but also agreed that probably that's what happened. So we decided we would give them another 5 minutes, and if they didn't show up or we didn't see them, one of us would call them on their cell. 5 minutes went by, we didn't see them. So Tiffany decided that she would call Mark's phone. She didn't get an answer, and we all got a little worried. So she also dialed Ryan's cell and got an answer from him. Him and Mark had gotten into a fight, had run after Mark, because he didn't want Mark to get lost. Mark said that he just needed some time. He would not go off the path. He would meet everybody back. So Ryan agreed. He had completely forgotten about Jenny. But he wasn't too far from where they had left off, and Jenny wasn't there. He wasn't too worried that she got too far off. And even if she had went off the main path, he knew the area and he would be able to find her. Don't worry about anything. Could just go back to the campsite. Mark could find his way back, and we agreed that we would do that.